Questions.
Okay, so Sentry.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been working on him for a while.
For a while now, yeah.
So, how was that?
Yeah, good. I think that was the fastest character to come alive. I think from start we did have his background. We knew what we wanted with the character, and obviously since the Kickstarter we knew what the first skill would be with the damage return shield. And I think the first idea was to make a real shield, like a shield.
A directional shield.
Directional shield, yeah. But it didn't really work out, and in the end we did some changes, and we combined some stuff from other tests with characters, and yeah, I'm super happy with what we've got now. So yeah. The
graphics went pretty fast as well. I didn't expect it to be that fast. It was a bit of fiddling with his fidelity level, because there were some expectations with the character thing that was already there from the Kickstarter video.
Yeah.
But we can't do everything, and you can't put too much detail in it. And same for his animations. At first I wanted to make him really robot-like, but then there was feedback that it didn't work out that well. But in the end, I'm pretty happy with it as well.
Yeah, it looks really awesome. Yeah.
And then there's this one little neat feature in there that we put in there last minute, which is really cool. We're going to show off as well. So yeah, I think we'll just hop into the demo.
Yeah, let's just show him. Let's do this.
Okay, let's put this window over there. Okay. So there we go. We've revealed his abilities on the vault, but I guess it's smart to go over them for for people who haven't seen that yet. So I guess you're the best one to talk about this.
About yeah, sure.
About the skills, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you made them.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, so the first skill is the damage return skill that we talked about. We call it the black hole sun. We did some teasing it in one of Foxy's items. It's a skill that is completely new to the back end of Awesomenauts. It's something that's not in the game yet as of now, and it's super awesome. It's actually a black hole. It pulls things towards it. It pulls more in the center than in the sides of it, and so it's really very strong crowd control kind of weapon. And the coolest part, or one of the cool parts of it, is that you can once you turn on this damage collecting shield. So you start the skill by
activating this shield, which absorbs all the. Now, well, it doesn't actually absorb damage.
No, because you still get the damage.
Yeah.
But
it collects that damage as well.
Yeah, you have this bar above your head, which indicates how much damage you're going to do. I think each dot is like 10 damage, and so you build up this damage. You got like, I think 2 or 3 seconds to build up this damage until this shield stops. After that, it turns to this shoot ability, where you can shoot out the black hole and detonate at any time you want. So you can actually decide where you want to place it a little bit. Yeah,
a bit like Coco's ball.
Yeah.
Which you can detonate at any time.
Exactly.
This same works for this, yeah.
It doesn't have the same range as the lightning ball, but it definitely packs a punch.
Yeah.
It's
it hurts. It hurts a lot. So and his other ability?
So his second ability is a teleport, and basically what you do is you place the beacon, then it changes the skill and it becomes a teleport skill. And you can teleport anytime, it's instant, it doesn't have a channeling time. And this sounds very strong, and it's probably in some situations going to be very strong. But in combat, the cooldown will run. So every time you get hit, you have like a 2-second window in which you can teleport. Yeah,
it's similar to some things maybe other people are familiar with from other games maybe. Because the thing you said, it might feel overpowered or really strong.
Yep.
This really counteracts that, because when you're in combat, it's not like a cheap escape where people get frustrated because suddenly he's gone because he can't teleport for 2 seconds after you hit him.
Yeah,
and that resets constantly each time he takes damage.
Yeah, especially with damage over time and any kind of sustained damage, like the turrets. It's really hard to teleport out of that.
Yeah,
it's practically impossible.
But it's an offensive skill as well, right? Because when you teleport and you arrive at the location, there's an AOE explosion.
There's also an explosion, so you also do a little bit of damage. So Sentry I think, is one of the first, or probably the real first defensive character in the game, and that also has mainly to do with his main attack. But in combination with the teleport, where you can easily get out of a situation and get this area kind of control with the black hole, because it stands in place for a couple of seconds. So during the time, nobody wants to be in that place, and it's quite huge. So you have this big area that you can control. But besides the two skills, you have this very awesome main attack, which is like a photon mine gun, which shoots out these little mines that explode after a second or something. Very short duration, but you can actually paint like
you can paint like a wall with the little. So there's all these mines laying around for a few seconds and then they detonate. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah. So I guess all that's left is to show it off. Well, first let's look at his items, because let's just do a random. So we talked about what this teleport can do. For instance, there's an exit location, and there's all kinds of upgrades which reinforce the offensive mentality. Yeah, so basically
you can build a very offensive or more defensive like.
Yeah. Let's see. I think this one's a good example.
This is a really offensive kind of item where you increase your attack speed for a short duration after you teleported. Yeah. So you come out this teleport and you can shoot really quickly all these photon mines, paint an area like this wall that you mentioned. Yeah. So that's a very offensive kind of skill.
And this one's a bit more defensive because it's where the point where you leave. There's a bit like a Leon decoy, I guess.
Yeah, it's very similar to the Leon decoy. It doesn't walk; it stays on the same spot. But if you touch it, it detonates and explodes in an AoE explosion.
So yeah, the black hole has things like increasing the damage and
increasing your movement while you have this shield up. So you have more control on getting the damage. Sentry has a lot of hit points. I think he has 165 at the moment, with which he can tank a lot of damage. And he needs to tank all this damage because he needs to put all this damage into his black hole zone. And getting that extra little bit of movement will get you. He isn't that fast, so he really needs that movement. That shield to get his black hole zone up to speed and get all the damage in.
Yeah. So I guess it's time for us to jump into the game and show everything we've just talked about.
Yeah.
So let's see. Oh, there we go. Let's grab some well-needed solar.
Tension builds.
And
pom pom pom.
There we go. Oh.
Yes, phone call.
He just got a phone call. Who's calling him? We're in the middle of a stream here. So yeah, one thing we haven't mentioned yet is the way he jumps.
Yeah.
It's more, I guess it's comparable to Clunk, right?
Yeah. It's quite similar.
So when he jumps, you can just do regular little hops, or you can go up. Or you can tap to go up, and you can go higher.
Yeah.
It's very similar to Clunk. And these are the photon mines we just talked about. As you can see, they lay around for a while and then they detonate for some damage. But as you can see, if you just hold the button, you can create this area which enemies they take damage to engage you, which is you can zone them out basically, which is a theme of this character.
Yeah. So he is part of the Starstorm ship. The Starstorm itself is also this big weapon that fires at the sun and can change it into a black hole. and Sentry has all these kind of story elements put into him and into his backstory, but also in his skills. And yeah, it's really cool that he has his little black hole son going for himself. So I really like that about it.
So yeah, luckily we've got enough solar to. So let's just do the black hole first before we die. So when you first activate the ability, a shield goes up, and after that, we'll see.
Phone call.
Oh, he got another phone call. He's a busy guy. So there's the shield. I just try to absorb as much damage as I can. So now my gun's
now it's loaded. So you see this bar above his head, or just below his health bar. You can see it doesn't have a lot of damage at the moment because Tim only got some damage from the droids. If you can get like a tank explode or a lightning ball from Coco, or
or a fully charged Ayla Evil Eye.
Yeah, for airstrike, that's awesome. So
if you can catch that damage, you can. It's basically a very good counter against those burst heroes because they have to be really careful not to give you all that, that damage return basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we'll try to get some of these guys in there. So it was a pretty weak black hole basically, because like you said, I only got some droid damage. But let's see.
So now we got some more.
Oh.
And obviously this is the first stage, so you can upgrade this. Even give it some flat damage. So if you're not that good at getting damage yourself from the enemy team, then you can go for some flat damage.
So that was better.
That was better.
31 damage. The longer the game goes on, the better the skill gets, basically, because everyone starts doing more and more damage, and he can absorb more and more damage. Yeah,
it scales really well with the other team and the damage of the other team.
Can you use it as a Twitch defense thing to turn it on just before something hits you?
Yeah, you can. So if you see Coco's ball flying towards you and just activate it at the last second, and so then he's already made the decision to throw it at you, and then you can absorb it.
Yeah, it works really well, and it works instantly, so you don't have a delay between starting the skill and getting the shield up. And you can make combinations like. Especially on Ribbit, you can go to the neutral solar boss, catch his damage, collect it, and then throw it out on the battlefield.
Yeah, the charge, the absorbed damage doesn't disappear. It remains on you until you shoot the black hole.
Yeah.
Or you die, of course. But
yeah, there's enough time for you to decide where you're gonna throw the black hole. So this is really good.
So this is a pretty big one. 44 damage. Which is, it's pretty okay. You gotta realize this is still the first stage with no upgrades. So
yeah, it's AoE and it has dispelling effect, so it's pretty strong.
So his other ability, and the first activation of this ability places the beacon. And the next time I use the ability, I will just teleport to it. But as you can see, Clunk just hit me, and the cooldown activates at the bottom of my screen, which prevents me from bailing out while he's attacking me. But if you go all the way behind enemy lines and you look at the minimap and you see you're being attacked and you just push the button, zap, instant teleportation. Pow. So yeah.
And that's again something completely new in the game.
Yeah.
And yeah, it really makes for a completely different kind of character. And
there's no character like him.
Yeah.
I mean, all the Awesomenauts are pretty unique, but this character, like you said, nothing of his what's behind his abilities was in the game yet.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, everything was made from scratch for him, so that's really cool.
Leon got away.
And the combination between the teleport and the black hole is really good, because you can go into it in a very damage-heavy situation where you can gather all this damage, and then, and between the shots you can try to teleport out, heal yourself up, and then you have this very strong black hole sun that you can return at a later moment.
Oh yeah.
Another thing is that you can teleport into the battlefield and throw it out instantly, because Sentry doesn't have this super mobility.
Yeah.
He's kind of slow. So being able to teleport into the battlefield and throw out this massive black hole that deals all this damage is really good. And players will have to anticipate on that. And there's also some upgrades that will work with that. Because, well, as you can see, the skill is very visible. It's a big, shiny red beacon where you're going to teleport to. But with this upgrade, you can make it go invisible after 5 seconds.
Yeah, so you have the element of surprise, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what people come up with and what kind of combinations will work. With him.
He's very... his usefulness basically increases as well with map awareness, because now I place the beacon on top in the top lane, and I just saw an enemy there, and then you port in and you just throw the black hole. You gotta keep watching the minimap, see if you can assist your teammates with well-placed beacons.
Yeah.
The cooldown on the beacon is pretty long though, so after you've teleported, I think it's a 20-second cooldown before you can place another beacon.
It's pretty long. It's the longest cooldown in the game, because it's very strong ability. Both abilities have a very long cooldown. But yeah, that's kind of normal with these very strong kind of skills. Yeah. And that's also one of the things that we wanted to try out, to see if these kind of heavy skills are able to persist in this kind of game. And
yeah, because it's pretty fast-paced, and everything's happening all the time.
Yeah.
So long cooldowns can slow it down. So this is pretty cool to see if this will work.
Absolutely.
Someone in the chat asks whether his hitbox shrinks when he teleports to the base, since he becomes smaller while teleporting. Does it?
No.
No, not at the moment. It is something that I've thought about doing, but I haven't tested it. I haven't tested it out yet, because his hitbox will be very small, and it might cause some collision problems with that. But
might give for some crazy evasion tactics where you press the teleport button
really fast.
Don't know whether that's awesome or really bad.
Okay. Let's see how much it does.
So yeah, that was a clunk explode, droids hitting me, Leon hitting me, and then you get a 100 damage black hole.
I'm not sure what the maximum is on damage. I think it's around 150 damage. If you can take 150 damage, of course, because that's almost his complete health bar. Yeah. But yeah, it can get pretty strong, and it's definitely something that against bot games, it's obviously the bots don't understand what the black hole is, so they just run into it and keep doing their skills. Yeah. But in competitive games, and players know what skill does, then what we've seen that players will try to dodge you at any chance when you activate the shield, and try to keep their skills before triggering them and providing you with the damage for your black hole. So. Yeah, so you have to be smart about playing Sentry, because if people are doing that kind of thing, you have to devise all kinds of tricks to make them attack you. Yeah, which is a cool thing. So it's especially good for things that have a build-up, like the Explode and Clunk, because once he's going to trigger that skill, he can't avoid it or can't cancel it. So those kind of skills and what we've also seen in situations where Coco would shoot out her lightning ball, and wouldn't detonate it because of Sentry activating his black hole sun shield. So it provides for all kinds of new kind of stuff, and yeah, that makes me really excited about him. So
yeah, I'm really interested to see what the players will do.
Yeah.
An interesting question from the chat that I just saw. I think you experimented with letting teammates teleport as well, right? What happened to that?
Yeah, that was basically too overpowered. Yeah, because you could throw out all this burst damage at the same time, get everyone at the same time. It was also a little bit annoying because first we had this kind of auto. If you would get an auto teleport from a place, then yeah, that would be kind of annoying for other players that wouldn't.
Yeah, it would cause some griefing.
This could cause some crazy griefing. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good thing it got out.
Yeah.
So I just read something about the beacon as well. Yeah, it stays up indefinitely until you teleport. Even if you die, it still stays up.
That's the cool thing. So if you put it up somewhere in the middle, or even if you're at the base of the enemy, pushing the last turret or even the base, and you die, then you can get back instantly from the teleport, the drop pod landing zone to the enemy base. So that's pretty awesome.
That was a bite.
But it also works. Obviously, it also works for the enemy team because it's visible where it is. For instance, if you put it on the ground, then it's possible for Yuri to put mines on it.
Yeah.
And you teleport to it, and then you get all these mines in your face. And all these kinds of different things. Or you can put traps, like Durpa could put a trap in there, or Railing could wait, anticipate the teleport, and throw a rift in there.
Yeah. So you can basically put yourself at a disadvantage.
Yeah. There's a lot of anticipation that goes with him.
Yeah.
Not for himself, but also for the enemy team.
Yeah. So basically, he's a pretty advanced character because there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things to think about.
Yeah.
It's not a very cookie cutter character, but that's also interesting. There's not many characters that have this many advanced tactics behind it.
His skill ceiling is pretty high, and I think if you're a very pro player, then it's possible to be able to dodge any kind of damage with him with his teleport. I think you're going to see some very cool plays with him. I think so.
Yeah. And, well, talking about those pretty cool plays, now you can actually watch those pretty cool plays after you finish the match. Yeah. Because that's one of the other cool new features of the Eye of the Storm.